prophecy tells of a boy, born of the love between a fairy prince and a human girl. A boy who would be disappeared from this world until he was old enough to return and lead an uprising against me. A boy, so says the prophecy, who could fly.
Well, firstly, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
And thanks for having us all come in here and ask you a bunch of questions all day long.
Absolutely my pleasure.
I love Blackbird.
Thank you.
He is,
Thank you.
God, such a good villain.
I love playing him.
Yeah, I was going to say, it felt like that. How did that kind of come about? Like, how did you get to that character?
Well, it was a lot of discussion with me and Joe, but I have to say Joe Wright and the hair and makeup team, the costume, they pretty much came up with all of that. My idea actually was to do it like the real Blackbeard.
Right, okay.
Who used to put incense sticks inside his moustache and light them before going into a battle. So it looked like his whole head was on fire. And Joe was like, yeah. He's cleaner and he wears wigs and he showed me a picture of me actually on the first meeting with the wig of Marie Antoinette and the costume of Louis XIV, and I was like, U-turn, okay. And it was just a much better idea, and I just had a blast doing it. It was great fun.
Yeah, he's very suave, isn't he?
Yeah.
And very chilling. It's that kind of like the turnaround in him, the unpredictability. It's like it keeps you on edge.
I'm glad you spotted that because Joe and I talked a lot about that. Like, Neverland is a child's imagination. This film is really an ode to childhood and a reminder to us adults to keep that childhood spirit alive. And he said, so all the adults in the film, in Neverland, said the pirates, they have to be as a kid sees adults, which is frightening and ridiculous. I don't know, there was that fun to it, and there was that sense that Joe gave all the actors of there's no real rules.
The idea really was to make a film from the point of view of an 11-year-old boy. And thinking about that, I realised that our imaginations become a little bit more constricted as we enter adolescence. It's really about wonder and excitement and colour and vibrancy. And so I was trying to make a film from that point of view.
And then so how do you kind of take that and put that into film? Like, what's that process like? Because the scale, obviously you've worked on huge scale before, but this was
Never
just
like
gargantuan.
this is by far the biggest scale I've done.
Yeah.
And I guess we start by gathering picture references together. For this film we looked at the National Geographic a lot. I wanted everything in Neverland to have a seed of truth or reality from Earth. So the final battle is based on some Mexican caves. So it's really pulling all these elements together and then putting them together in strange and hopefully surprising combinations.
What was your favourite like location or day on set or like?
I think my favourite day had to be very egocentric, but my entrance.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, I've done enough movies and enough things in showbiz to go, I'm not going to get a day like this very often where I'm coming out, great costume, hundreds of kids stomping their feet, singing and cheering. That's pretty cool.
So surreal. Did you kind of stop and go, this is crazy?
Yeah.
I think we loved every moment that we were on set together. I think when days get long, you really rely on your comrades to keep the morale up and everything. And our scenes were all so fun. You know, sometimes Levi, we were stuck to each other all day, smelling each other's breath and
finishing each other's sentences. It's always hard to leave a film when you like make really close relationships with people, and then it's like summer camp, and then it's kind of, you know, over. But then you meet up again, and it's like we never left. But I think it was especially probably hard for Levi because it was your first time doing it. Like you get more and more used to it.
Yeah.
The more you work, the more you get used to making friends and then leaving them. But I think it was probably the hardest for Levi.
Yes, I mean, we created a whole gang when we were filming, so it was definitely sad.
Yeah, it must be like a little family. Like you kind of just spend every day together.
Yeah, exactly.
And, yeah.
Your fiercest fighter against ours, our Pan.
So, How do we know when to start?
I'm afraid to see the sequel now because I don't want anything to happen from, you know, between this lovely kind of group.
Well, if fate and good fortune's on our side, then, you know, we'd get the opportunity to. But I don't know why you wouldn't be excited, because then I'd probably have a big old wig and a goofy hat.
Will you rate it? I meant aloud. Oh.
Working with kids and working with child actors, did that help kind of
I think it
build that
helps.
fun?
Luckily, these were not annoying kids in any way, because there are some annoying kids, like adults. But Joe had a feeling on set of it. I'm trying to describe it. I've never been to Burning Man, but I have a feeling it was a bit like Burning Man. It was in this Neverland set, which was fully lit, like you were in the middle of the day, no matter what time of day or night it was, with real plants in there growing, and greenskeepers, and the smell, and music playing all the time. Sometimes hippie kind of trance music, electronica, punk. He just had everything going. So
It did feel a little trippy at times.
And I think it should. It's
Yeah.
a child's imagination, and this particular Levi, who led the charge and was the lead actor in this and holds the movie together, he is a constant reminder to me, and I think all the other actors, of how lucky we are to do this job.
Well, I was kind of making it with and for Levi at the same time. And that when, you know, I'd take him onto a set and he'd be completely blown away by a set, or he, you know, I needed to make sure that he understood everything that we were doing. He came with no baggage at all. He had no sort of previous experience, and so he had no bad habits, or, you know, he was very open to the whole process.
I was wondering from your guys' perspective, because obviously it's a kid's film, and I'm imagining myself at 10 years old seeing this and just being like, I was blown away, but, you know, as a kid seeing that, it must be even more incredible. So growing up for you guys, what was your favourite kids' film, or what did you love to, what were you inspired by?
I was a Popeye fan.
Okay.
My grandpa, I was such a Popeye fan that my grandpa bought me a can of spinach, and I thought it was incredible. And he said I had to eat it raw from the can, like Popeye, and I ate half the can. I said, "Grandpa, where are my muscles?"
I loved The Never-Ending Story. Loved
Yes, me
that.
too.
The Goonies, Willow.
I just watched The Goonies again like 5 days ago.
So good. Or Hook, even.
Yeah.
I think mine were the Indiana Jones series.
Wow, okay, yeah.
I love
Good
Indiana
choice.
The last day of filming, the boy, he was crying. And I gave him a hug. I said, mate, it's going to be a lot of other, you know, films. He goes, no, I've got to go back to school tomorrow. And he literally had that feeling every day on set of like, I don't have to go to school today, and look where I am in Neverland.
Well, you seem to have kept that all this time, though. Even at the premiere, like, you just seem to be having so much fun. So that's a great thing to have.
Pretty much everything from about 1996 onwards has been a surprise to me. Literally everything.
I mean, you're Wolverine, for Christ's sake, so that must have been fun.
Completely. People say to me all the time, oh, look, you know, you got to do interviews. And I say, I'm actually at Claridge's in London. I'm a kid from the northern suburbs of Sydney. You know, this is pretty good. Don't worry, I'm having a great time. You know, I'm very blessed, and I try not to forget it.
Saw the film last night. Very exciting. I think I might be pregnant.
I mean,
It was
his
intense.
dance number at the end, it can actually do that.
Someone might have got pregnant that night.
Someone probably did.
I can't confirm or deny that.